a brief overview about the book? Like, what is your inspiration behind? What exactly is the theme of the book, and what brought you to write such a nice, like, book?
So, in the sense, I've been working since the age of 16, and it's like post 16, it has always been studies and work parallelly, and in between 2 years of full time studies. So, and today I'm almost 47, so it's been a long work life for me. And during this stint of work, obviously, a question of always used to be at the back of my mind that why people don't get the best of jobs, or they're not able to build the best of businesses for themselves. So that has been always a quest in my mind, and the more I kept on working in different organizations, the good thing is I got exposed to multiple different types of organizations. I started with a working in a small and medium enterprise which used to manufacture lampposts. Then I joined CSC, which is 100-year-old organization. Then post that, after my studies, I joined Bank of Baroda, which is a PSU bank. Then worked in DCB, which is a private bank. Then worked in Dun Bradstreet, which is a MNC. So, worked in various nature of work with very different types of people. And so during this process of work and journey, I got to realize that uh, it's all about that personal choice of staying relevant. That is something which is really stopping someone to uh, make good for himself or herself, whether the person is working as an employee or they are working as a entrepreneur in any basis, right? Because at the end of the day, if it's an organization is nothing more than the people who are actually working over there, right? So if all the people work well, then obviously the organization grows. And similarly, in case of entrepreneurship also, that as a leader, you have to lead the team. So if you are not sort of taking yourself to the next level, obviously your team won't be able to uh, help you to grow the organization. So in both the cases, the common theme gets to be someone to stay relevant. And in today's world, in organizations also, the companies are looking for entrepreneurs, right? They may not be entrepreneurs, but they are looking for entrepreneurs who has that. It's not about just I pay you the money and you do a certain extent of work and then the story is over, right? It's not like that. They're looking for people who really is very well motivated to drive the businesses in the right order. So in that sense, entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship is not very far away, right? So I tried to understand that what can be creating a win-win situation between the employees on one side and the entrepreneurs on the other side. Because if their common objectives meet, then only it does good for both of them as well as for the organization at overall basis. So that was the perspective with which I started on uh, penning down my thoughts over there, yeah, in the book.
So the words are here from whatever you have mentioned so far are adaptability, agility, and like upskilling yourself. Are
Absolutely.
those the
Yeah.
words? Okay,
It is all
so
about a person's pursuit of taking himself or herself to the next level. And for that, the person obviously needs to uh, be focusing on spending some time during the day to upskill or reskill himself or herself. That is but obvious, because nothing is going to come from thin air, right? One has to take the trouble to spend that time that is required to upskill, and that is irrespective of at what age or at what um, experience level you are having it, whether you're the CEO of the company or you are 18-year-old guy working as an intern somewhere. That doesn't make any difference. Everyone has to upskill. Today, you won't like to go to a doctor who is not upskilling or reskilling. You won't like to go to a lawyer who is not updated, right? You won't like to go to a chartered accountant who is not updated. Then obviously, if you are trying to mold yourself as a professional, that would be the expectation from the other side as well, right? So you have to spend that time, and and that is the only way to stay relevant into this world.
Yeah, definitely. And with AI and everything, like things changing so
Uh,
fast, so one has to
Absolutely.
actually
So,
stay very relevant. So,
absolutely.
like, is there any precision that you have thought of when it comes to the target audience, or it is a like widespread audience that you're considering, like, while you were drafting the book?
No, no, it is a widespread. As mentioned, it's a common theme, right? Whether it's a 18-year-old guy who is looking for, who is maybe looking for internship, sorry, and or maybe the CEO of the organization. It is uh, irrespective of. It's all about. I was just going through a video that day, and the chairman of Microsoft. I forgot his name, sorry, the uh, CEO of Microsoft. So he was mentioning that I have more books or say programs I have enrolled for, much more than what I can absorb, right? So so at that stage, who is the CEO of an organization like Microsoft, if he is humble enough to accept that he also needs to be on the scheme of things, then that goes for everyone, right?
Definitely, definitely. So, like, what kind of research you did for this book? I mean, is it your particular experience throughout your
I
journey?
absolutely. There is no research required because I had extent of work years behind my back, meeting different set of people and understanding their choices and understanding where some people are doing excellently well, some people are not doing that well, right? So it's all about those sort of memories that I carried, which helped me to pin down my words over there.
Were there any significant challenges that you faced while you were drafting?
No, not. I really didn't find it because it was very smooth. See, it was always there at the back of the mind, right? That I need to sort of comprehend everything. This is my years of experience. So it was just about, yeah, focusing and sitting for and getting the task done to ensure that it gets completed, right? So that discipline has to be there. See, writing a book is not many people think it's a very major challenge, but it's not a major challenge. You say if you're writing a 200-page book, right? And if you write 5 pages a day, so it's 40 pages of effort, right? 40 days of effort, right? So 40 days maybe you won't be able to do every day, but say 40 days if you spread it in 3, 4, 6 months also, right? So that is really achievable. But it's all about that. Once you start, you have to go on rolling. As it is said, initiative and finitiative, both the things gets to be very significant. So you have to be, many people initiate a lot of stuff, but they don't take it to the right ending or conclusions. I think I'm good in that. That has, over a period of time, I have built myself in that manner. So when it started off, I concluded, yeah, was there no scope of improvement? So progress is important than perfection, as it is said, right? So uh, uh, if I in future write some other book, I'll take care of the mistakes that I've done, right, or would have been better. But I always believe in progress is important than perfection. So yeah, so I got it done and then published a book. Everything happened. Yeah,
And the message that comes out from what I'm hearing is consistency is more important.
absolutely. For everything, consistency and persistency are two very important things. So it all boils down to your mindset and your focus, discipline. All the softer elements, I think, gets to be more and more important than your talent or your technical understanding of things. Uh, that is what I found. Because if you are working on the softer elements, the harder elements will take care of by itself. So
Definitely.
not, but it doesn't happen the other way around.
Yeah, very well said. Okay, so the title of the book, it's very catchy and it kind of is self-explanatory. How
Hmm.
did you come up with that?
So yeah, a lot of thought definitely has gone behind that in terms of what should be ideal title for this, and so it suddenly snapped just like that. That I was just thinking in terms of how to give a definition to this in very simple words, 1 or 2 words in which it should give that perspective. So like it happened just like that, in the sense there was no strategy behind that in terms of so just thinking around as to what I'm trying to communicate. That was where the focus was. And when I'm saying stay relevant, I'm not trying to say, means it's not that I'm trying to communicate this to everyone, but I'm similarly communicating this to myself as well, right? So we all have to stay relevant. So in a way, I'm communicating to myself also that I also be required to stay relevant into this world, right? So that's a sort of motto, or what do you call that? A sort of positioning that you have in your mind, that if you really want to do good for yourself, then we all need to stay relevant. So that is where the thought came from.
Well, as it is very evident that the book is coming from your heart. So something that is coming from your heart, it takes a lot of passion and dedication both to complete something like this. How long did it take for you to finish this book from starting to final publication? I
It,
would like a rough
it took
figure.
roughly around 4 months for me.
4 months.
4 months. Yeah.
Okay, so is there any interesting story or some anecdote that happened while you were drafting it? That's something like you would like to share?
Not exactly story as such, but yeah, it was just after I left my job and started on with my entrepreneurship journey, right?
Mhm.
So you understand, when you are working at a level and at a very high package salary level, and suddenly when you leave your job, you are at zero, right?
Mhm.
So again, you need to start all over again, right? So it was those very tough days where you have a lifestyle, you need to maintain that, but at the same time, your earning is zero, right? So you have to sort of go ahead with that journey as well. And during that process only, I started writing this book as well. So I had to sort of keep those hours very secluded for myself, other than the work hours for my entrepreneurship journey, for writing this book. And mm, and my child was very, like, he was at that point of time, maybe 5, 6 years. And so he always used to sort of intrude into when I used to be sort of focusing on that. So those memories are there. Like I'm right, I'm sort of typing down and thinking in deep thoughts. Suddenly he intrudes into, and again you sort of try to go behind him, and again pacify him, and again come back, and again focus. Right. So a lot of things comes into play. But I was more focused towards writing this book. With the objective that, one, I wanted to comprehend whatever I have experienced over the years in this book format that was there at the back of my mind. And the other thing is how a book helps. We need to understand that, right? So see, when the term author comes up, it helps you to establish some level of authority also, right? So people tend to uh, sort of try to see you as someone who has authority on certain subject, right? That is where it comes up. And the other thing is, suppose if I'm going for some business endeavor also, instead of just giving someone a card which everyone is flashing to the other person, if I give a book, right? So that makes a hell lot of a difference. The perspective with which the other person respects you, that changes. Also, you have some tangible thing to be shared across with him or her, which the person may keep in the cover or wherever, maybe somewhere. So it always catches the eye. And if the person do spend some time to read through the pages, and it resonates to his or her perspective of things, so that also really helps you for a long-term standing relationship in business. So there are multiple sort of. It's not just because you thought of writing a book. It has to make both your personal sense as well as a business sense as well, right? So So that's the reason as to why I started working on this. And then, yeah, the way I thought about it, it was well received. That's why it's Amazon bestseller. And and it helped me in my business pursuit as well in a lot of ways.
What was more rewarding, your actual the phase when you were drafting it, or when you were actually having it in your hand and able to share it with your like the people who were looking forward to you?
See, both the journeys had their own flavors, you know. So when I was writing down the my thoughts, uh, it was like you are in your own halo, you know. You are in your own sort of space where you remember those journey where you started off from and where you have been able to reach till that point of time. So that comprehends, and on the other hand, uh, when obviously it you see the tangible output of whatever you have placed across, and after those reiterations, rechecking, and lot of things, when the final output comes up, and when you are able to place it across to people, that gives you a different high altogether. So it has both has its own place, and it has its own charm. I cannot differentiate it in that manner.
Very well. So it's been a while. You have been like running this business Unplugged.
Mm.
Please give us an overview about that, like how it is doing, and like what exactly like
So
inspired you.
as the title of the book goes, stay relevant. So stay relevant is our sort of tagline for our company as well, right? So as I mentioned already, so our objective is to bring relevancy among people so that they can make the best uh, of themselves, right? So whether you are an entrepreneur or you are an employee. So from an employee perspective, our niche is very much focused towards people who wants to make a career into investment banking and co-finance, right? So that is where the niche that I am trying to sort of place myself in. And on the business side of it, it is about bringing relevancy among entrepreneurs as to how they should be, if they're starting off their business, how they should be rightly starting off their business. If it's that they already have a business, but they want to scale that business, so how they should actually be doing that, right? So now this is basis my years of experience where I have worked both as a management consultant and an investment banker. So I have consulted more than 1,500 companies in India. You say the topmost names are Tata Motors, Titan, Danish, Hindustan Lever, because I was working for Dun& Bradstreet, and in that organization, we used to have very good clients. So we have served those sort of people, and those sort of organizations. And so that's a huge experience that I carry, which helps me today to sort of build the businesses uh, of means or help the entrepreneurs build their businesses. And on the other side, as I said, I had been an investment banker and had been a commercial banker. I've worked in treasury. So all those finer nuances of finance is something that allows me to sort of help people who wants to make a career into investment banking and finance to do that. So, so these are the two spaces on which we work, and uh, that's about it. Yeah.
And we have had a long association with you. So anything
Yeah.
that you would like to mention about Edmingle?
I would say Edmingle has been a real blessing for me for the last, I think we are 7 years, we are associated, 6 years, 2017, yeah, 5, 6 years, yeah. And Gaurav, who is the CEO, he was like when Edmingle has just started up, at that point of time we connected. Um, so I was staying in Mumbai at that point of time. Gaurav came down to my place also in Mumbai, right? So and it was really good to see. I really liked Gaurav from the very first day, and the way he was so focused in terms of what he once wanted to build. And then post that, all my experiences working with the Edmingle team had been real fun, and it has been really good, I should say. And then this journey, entire journey of Edmingle to the place where it is now, it's really commendable. So I really congratulate you all, and I wish you guys all the best. And I'm sure miles to go for you all.
Yeah, definitely. And I would really like to thank you for being such an amazing guest and obviously a customer for us. And we look forward to serve you better in the years to come.
I'm sure you will. That's there. I think it's already ingrained in the sort of system of Edmingle that way that I get to see. Yeah,
Yeah, improvement is the way we actually, continuous
absolutely.
development is
Yeah.
something, yeah, it's
That's there.
ingrained.
That's there. That's there. So you guys also have to stay relevant, right?
Yeah, of course.
So we all have to stay relevant.
Definitely, definitely. The book is actually very interesting, and I was actually scrolling through some like pages. So although I still have to finish the entire reading, but like whatever I have read, it's very interesting and inspiring. And thank you so much for giving us that kind of a gem. Really appreciate you for that, and we look forward to have such more gems from you in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.